Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day, and with that being said, let's get into the TA. Alright, so we're going to start here with the daily time frame. It is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do have to record this video a little early. I got to go into work a little early. But, you know, it's close enough to the end of the day. We do have a bullish engulfing candlestick on the daily time frame. Over here on QQQ, I want to point out we had a shooting star candlestick form on Friday, and then that was off increased volume. And today, charts do not seem to care. So I do want to point that out. And before we go any further, I want to bring that back up, the Bollinger Band. And I want to point out you had your third close, or your third open above the Bollinger Band. And then, like, I don't know where you're going to close out the day, but if you do, you're going to have your third open and close above the upper Bollinger Band. So that is something that I'm going to be paying attention to, and that is one of the main reasons that I don't think this thing's going to go much further. I really do not. I do want to make that clear, but price can do whatever it wants. So what are we watching on the upside? We are watching 389 to 390 over here on QQ, and then SPY, we are watching 457 to 462. Now I'm going to go down to the 15-minute time frame over here on, we're going to take this off, over here on SPY. I'm going to point out that things are shaping up pretty bullishly. All right, so go from Thursday into Friday, we formed this bull flag / wedge pattern over here. We closed out the day on this candlestick right here. And that is what ended up holding the bottom of the zone right here. And it did turn into the demand zone. You see, you know, price got pushed up. That only means buy orders were sitting down here. So we did have this wedge. You were pushing up to the top, and after you break over 451, I'm going to point out you don't really have any resistance all the way up till 457. Again, I don't think you're going to go much further. I think it's like, I do think you're getting up here. I'm going to be, you know, very clear on that one, but I will tell you guys right now, I still don't think you're not going to get this pullback. We do have earnings on Wednesday, and if we run into those earnings, I can't imagine, you know, Tesla or Netflix giving us, you know, the indices a big fat gap up all the way up here. Again, it can happen. I just don't think it's going to happen without a pullback. So I am still looking for a pullback going into Wednesday, and maybe those earnings ends up, you know, bringing us all the way up there. Sorry about that little ding there. But coming back over here to SPY, I'm going to point out you did get back underneath the Bollinger Band here. So that's not really a focus, but like, again, over here on QQ, you are still above this thing, and I don't think it's gonna last. Like, I'm gonna just point out here, you go back over here, you had your little pullback, and I'm not talking about a big pullback, I'm just talking about a little pullback here, and we still have not gotten it. Right here, you had your little pullback. Right here, you had your little pullback. Right here, you had your little pullback. Right here, you had a big pullback. Here, you had a decent sized pullback. And this is in the bear market, but let's just go outside the bear market. Let's see if this condition even pops up outside of there. No, it like really, like, this is during your COVID to all-time high run over here. And no, you still ended up having these pullbacks. You at least went sideways. Right now, guys, price does not seem to care. Price wants to go up. So I do want to make that pretty clear here. I do think prices across the board do want to go up. And I'm going to point out over here on QQQ, you keep forming these bullish structures. Let's get that ugly thing off of our chart. There we go. I'm going to point out you just keep forming these bullish structures, all right? So there was one on the 5-minute chart before, which was right here. You had this inverse head and shoulders formation right here, and then you have another one right here. And that is one I just saw on the 15-minute time frame, which is, that is your left shoulder, that's your head, and that is your right shoulder. And you just broke out and back tested that bad boy right there. So I am just pointing out, price wants to go up. Whether you like it or not, price does look like it wants to go up. And that's just what it is. It is what it is. Like I pointed out over here, we have this bullish structure right here on this now demand zone. We came back tested it, and it looks like you're pushing up to the high. All right, you come over here to IWM, and price literally came down here. Let's see if we got we get some closes underneath on the 4-hour time frame. No, price ended up holding the zone that we were watching, which was over here, and then you pushed up to the next resistance, which would have been 193. I think it was 193, yeah, 69 over here. And now it looks like price is going to end up hitting our 194.50 target that we were calling out if you ended up getting above the zone right here. And, you know, price is pretty close to that. After that, that does open up the door all the way up here to 198.40. So that is what I will be paying attention to over there. And I'm just going to point out, I still don't think it's like, at least me. I mean, I'm not comfortable being long on the indices if this thing's not going to end up pulling back. I still think it's highly probable that we get something like this. You come back to the breakout point, and then, like, you know, if you're pretty close to the breakout point, you're probably going to end up coming down and filling that gap. And then you could push up here, all right? And price can do whatever it wants. I am pointing out right now, like, guys, things are shaping up pretty bullishly. I'm not in control of the price, so whoever is in control of the price here, these buyers are, you know, they're shoving it straight up there. Now let's come over here to Microsoft. I want to point out Microsoft did end up like, things just look bullish to me. I'm just pointing that one out. Things just look bullish. You see over there, you see over here on Goog. All right, Goog looks like it's now range bound, and if you do have a break up, you know, you could end up seeing a move up there. Come over here to Amazon. Now, Amazon is a lagger right now, but it is at least that's my main watch right now, which is like, hey, if you do end up seeing this back test over here, it doesn't even have to get the back test. I'm just going to be honest. All right, it finally broke out of this range. And the next spot you're going to be watching, now that it filled this 134 gap, is going to be all the way up here at 138. So, and I am seeing so many freaking Amazon and Microsoft calls come in just all day, especially Amazon. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, things want to go up. That is what I'm pointing out here. And then you got Tesla over here with the new high today. Tesla also looks like it wants to go up. Like, I'm just pointing it out. Things look like they want to be going up. So just, I don't think the move is to short on the pullback. I don't think you should be trying to do so. I think the move is, hey, to wait for these A+ setups to pop up again across the board. We're still in an uptrend. Anybody who thinks like, hey, you're not, you know, the ship has sailed here. we're just going to look at this daily chart. We're just going to take everything off. Does this look like a bearish chart to you? We're going to come over here to QQQ. Does this look like a bearish chart to you? To me, it looks like it's heading straight to all-time highs. I'm sorry if that pisses off some of you guys, but I'm just letting you know, like, this thing does not look like it. If it gets a decent sized pullback, I think it'll just be that. It'll be a pullback, and then I think it would go off of the races again. Inflation's coming down. All of this fear was literally off of, you know, the whole inflation thing. And I'm just going to point out right now, all right, if this whole thing is a Ponzi scheme, and once it goes, then why are they going to let it go now? That is something I was talking about this with my friend the other day. Like, why are they going to let it go now? Why are they not going to run it back up? All right. If big money wants to make a ton of money, they can make a ton of money before this thing goes kapooey. And honestly, this thing doesn't look like it's going to go kapooey anytime soon. And if you do end up breaking all-time highs, then we would have a situation on here. I don't think it's going to be as explosive as this, because this is when we had stimulus money just being pumped into the market. But you know, that is when the whole, anybody with the bear market thesis, you're not going to have a thesis anymore if you see these things get up to all-time highs. You just don't. We can go back over here. Let's just go all the way back here. We're on the daily time frame. Yeah. All right. So over here, .com bubble. All right. Like, you know, you pushed up to all-time highs. You couldn't break them. If you break all-time highs, there you go. Let's actually just go to the weekly time frame. All right. Look at that. So you had like a slight lower high there. You did not break the all-time highs, and, like, you know, maybe people were betting on a huge crash over here, and you started going up. You're getting this mega rally here, and then boom, maybe people were like, oh, it's going to be a double top. No, then it kept going a decent amount. Let me just go like that. All right, you had another 10% move. All right, with today's prices, that would be, you know, a lot higher there. You would be, you know, that would be crazy, but that would be something that, like, I'm completely open to. But over here, like, you see what happened. All right, 07, you didn't get anything like we're getting over here. All right, 07 to 08, you just got a full-on meltdown. All right, COVID, you got a full-on meltdown. Then by the time you got out of it, you price back tested it, and then you went off to the races. So if you see these things, which that's what it looks like to me is gearing up, you know, this is something to just keep in the back of your mind before just going all in short on these things. Just my personal opinion there. All right, so I'm going to close things off with that. I am actually going to point something out to everyone, anybody who wants a little trade idea out there, all right? MU, fresh on the daily, as long as you close above this, let me just delete this. As long as you close above this trend line right here, you have a rising wedge or falling wedge breakout. And I'm just going to point out AMD and NVIDIA have gone absolutely nuts. And I'm just going to point this out. NVIDIA looks like 500 is the next cycle level. I'm not saying it's going to reach 500. I have no interest in playing this ticker. All right, this ticker is quite insane, and honestly, the size of these moves, you know, like with after factoring how juiced the premiums are, I don't think it's the best thing to be playing. But I am going to point out, all right, like if things do what I just pointed out, if sentiment stays up and prices keep driving higher across the board, yeah, Nvidia is probably going to continue squeezing out shorts. And yeah, let's talk about this big shooting star candlestick right here off of increased volume. Well, guess what? All right, you had increased sell volume right here. Guess what? You had the shooting star right here off of even more volume than what you're getting right now. What'd you get the next day? You got a pullback, 7% pullback from, you know, you closed the day out right there. So we'll call it a 6% pullback. But from the low it formed, all right, you then had a 17% rip. So maybe we do end up getting a pullback here, but I'm just going to point out now that price has broken out of here. It's broken out of this. Let's just see how long this has been. So that's gone from the middle of June all the way up into, what is that? The middle of July. So it's a month-long range. You think it's only going to last for 3 days? I don't think so. So if you do end up seeing a pullback here, it maybe happens with the pullback in the indices that I speak of, which it doesn't have to happen, but I think it's very likely. You know, it wouldn't be too crazy, in my personal opinion, to see some move like this. And then, you know, that is that. All right. So with that being said, I will catch you all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your day. If you enjoyed the video, if you find value in my content, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It would mean the world to me. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.